Hey there, and welcome to Academy Live. A little bit later than planned today. Good to see you all here. Happy Friday to you all. Hope you're doing well. So, unfortunately, our CPI show that was planned today has been slightly delayed, but we will be back with that next week, and I'll be sending out some emails. So, be sure to check out next week. We'll be doing a breakdown with the CPI on some of the big games out at the moment. So really looking forward to that. Good to see you all here. Sorry about the delayed stream today, but we've got some interesting things to look at today. So what I thought we'd do today is have a look at our game Attack Hole, which is currently #1 on both Google Play and the App Store in the US. I thought we'd give that a quick spin. Obviously, I've seen it quite a bit, but I haven't really played through it. So I thought we'd just go through that today and cover a couple of bits that's going on here at Homa. So probably a little bit of a shorter stream today, but we're revving up for next week where we've got that new format for you. So good to see you all here. That's what's coming up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the iPad here. And we have a brand new game which we're starting to scale right now. Let's move myself over again. I was doing that. And we have Fight for America that we've just released this week, which has been in a soft launch for a while. So let's have a quick look at this. This is a really exciting game, this one. So do go over to the Homa developer account and go and grab some of these. Give us a download and all of that. But I think you're really going to love Fight for America. It's a really strong game, a really interesting genre that we'll be touching on more in a couple of weeks. But yeah, really, really nice hybrid game, this one. And like I said, I don't want to go too much into it, but I'll give you a quick view of this one while we're going. And we've also got Open the Box, which is a really nice puzzle game that's super addictive. So keep an eye out for this one as well. But this one is very, very polished. It's a really interesting mechanic, and excited to show this to you in the coming weeks. Okay. Oh, thanks for that, Jills. What did I miss? Carrie, what is up, Carrie? Yes, it is. I will put a link to my calendar on the Discord after this stream today. And you can book a session with me on there, and anyone else feel free to take one of the slots where you can come and chat to me, and we'll have a half an hour session to get you unstuck in your game. Let me have videos or anything you want to share with me, and we'll do that as a one-to-one, as an academy perk, if you like. So I will be adding my calendar onto the academy, which will be typically the best way to do that in the future. But for now, I'll put it on the Discord, and you can come and grab some time with me, and I'll look forward to doing that. So not a problem at all. So yeah, like I said, a little bit slightly different from us today. I have posted some new links over on the Discord. Let's just open that up real quick, actually. So hopefully I can get in here. Here we go. So let's have a quick look at the other games. There's a couple in here that I want to point out to you. Let's go in here. Okay, so where are we? So a new one from Supersonic. I think we covered that last week. Jigsaw Garden from Popcore. It's a really interesting title, this one. So go and check this out. And if you haven't done already, of course, go and join the Discord, where you can come and join me over there for all the new games throughout the week. And we're posting up as much information as we can. I did a video of this one. Let's have a quick look at this. So this is the new one from Popcorn. It's a really interesting game. It's a jigsaw puzzle, which is obviously slightly more casual. Can't see the bottom of it there. That's a shame. All right, but you've got the pieces down the bottom there where you then drag into the jigsaw puzzle. So just different shapes, obviously. I found it actually slightly more difficult than I think I should have done, because the shapes down at the bottom are really big, and the shapes on the map are a little bit confusing at times for where to put it. But either way, so I'd recommend checking that one out if that's your sort of thing. Oh wow, so too many ads on that one from Popcore. So always finding the balance there, isn't it, between the ads and the frequency of how many you're shown. This next one is a pack hunter from Voodoo, which I posted up earlier. A really curious release, this one. Very different indeed, but I'd highly recommend going and checking this one out. Quality is pretty good. A very unique game overall. Got an open worldy type feel to it. Mechanics are really nice. It's one of those games that just literally I have no idea what to make of it. So I did have a couple of playthroughs. You can see me here. This is what I recorded from it. It's kind of the opening part of it. So you're growing your pack and then hunting down animals. And really good points on this, I guess, would be the fact that once you start running around, you kind of I found a home screen button which I picked up as a kind of like a power up or a pickup, and then it actually put a home screen icon onto the game, which allowed me to teleport back to that cave that we first started. So you're literally running around, you get close to one of these deers, and essentially you go in, and you'll see the mechanic on your screen in just a second here, and I did pretty rubbish on this one. But you then attack them, so pretty violent. But if you don't take it down on the first go, headshot, if you get it right in the middle of that red, it will do it in one go. But then you then get your second pack member to do the same, just like that, and that brings it down, and you get the food. And the mission was to get 50 for the first level, I guess. So very interesting game here. I did another video quickly for you. So this is what happens once you've done that level. You come back and you get a little bit of storytelling here and another mission, but you'll see here in just a sec that once this is done, it then introduces a mini map which pops up on the UI. And let's see where that comes in. Well, let that play through, but I highly recommend this one. This is a very unusual. I would definitely think it's kind of rife for some innovation. There's the headshot where it takes it down. Oh, it's a moose, so it didn't, but it would have taken a deer down. A deer down. Wow. Okay. It is brutal, Jills. It's a super unique game, so I really would recommend checking this one out to see whether or not. Obviously, it's untested, unproven. It's brand new in the Voodoo account. No splash screens changed or anything like that. It's just a Unity logo on the game when you load it up. But I think this one here is kind of it's so unusual. I would really go and play it. Go and play it and see if there's something that inspires you to do something similar. The mechanics on it work super well. The controls are great. And I really think this one is rife for some innovation here. It's so unusual. For some reason, the video didn't record the mini-map, so that's why I was running towards that. I was following a mini-map there. You couldn't really see it. And lastly, I saw Rollick kind of starting to push this power flow game, which is essentially a clone of Voodoo's water wheel game. And you'll see this one here. This is the game from Rollick, and we'll just scroll up a little bit in a minute. If you're not familiar with the water wheel game, it's essentially the same. They changed the camera a bit. The graphics are a lot nicer. The theme's there, but you can see a really interesting idle clicker type game. I'll pull this down so you can see the two together there. So there's the Voodoo one on the top. Let's do that a little bit more. There's the Voodoo one. Oops. There's the Voodoo one, and you can see the Rollick version underneath. So reimagined in terms of the theme, which I think the themes are a lot nicer in my book. I think it's got a lot more going for it. The electric car charging, I think, is pretty smart. But essentially, it is the same mechanic and build of the Voodoo game. So whichever your thoughts are on that, I think it's smart to take an idea and twist it around a bit. It looks nicer. It feels nicer. No, that's a lie because I haven't played it. I've got a video. Let's play that video now. I played the Voodoo one, but the overall build quality looks sensational to me. The theme is great. I think it opens up for a lot of scope in terms of theme. One of the screenshots shows a helicopter, which I think is really fun. I think you could bring in buses. I think you could bring in some particular live ops elements into this, where maybe there's an emergency weekend or some kind of petrol tankers or all sorts of things that you can do with this. Whereas the Voodoo one was just really expanding on the different types of electrical plants, which was a kind of a weird theme. It was all right, and I quite enjoyed it, but the theme was weird to me. But I think the Rollick one, this Power Flow, has got a whole bunch of potential, and I highlight it more to do with, forget about the copying or inspiration from and all that aspect. It's when you're thinking about where you're setting your game's world in, just having a little additional steps of vision into the game you're building to see, okay, if this does go, where can we take it? And that's what I think the difference is about this game, is the fact that the electric charging offers a ton more ability to expand on that whole game design and mechanic, and you can immediately think of stuff to do. Whereas the Voodoo one, you're building another power plant, and honestly, when you upgrade, and the graphics are quite nice, but you kind of just get a bigger building, and it's a little bit dry and a little bit meh in terms of the subject matter of the game. So I thought I'd highlight that one today. I'd recommend checking that out. Power Flow it's under Sergan someone, but it's literally a Rollick account. So I would imagine that Samet Ersan. It's literally a Rollick game, so I would imagine it goes over to their account very soon on iOS. So that's the links. That's in the Discord, and I'm posting all of this stuff throughout the week. I'm going to give a little bit more commentary on the ones I'm sharing for you, on the ones that we probably won't play on the stream. And I'm going to be playing them beforehand, so I can take a look and provide my feedback. And I encourage any feedback from you guys on that to see. Let's have a conversation about it. I think it's a really good and powerful exercise to do when we're thinking about our games, because the more you can absorb what's happening in the market, it will spark some ideas. So don't just take 5 minutes a day, come in, have a look, see what's in there, and come and say hello to me, because I'd love to speak to you. All right, so that's the new games this week. Obviously a little bit lighter than normal because we were planning on the CPI show. But what I thought we'd do is have a look at this game from us. Number 1, Google Play US. Number 1, US games on the App Store. So I'm just going to have a quick slurp. No, I'm not. I am going to turn off our airplane mode and make sure that we don't get turn on airplane mode and make sure we don't get any adverts today while we're looking at the gameplay, because that's what we're doing here. We're just looking at the game design and the gameplay and making sure that, of course, we just concentrate on the game itself and not the adverts. So how does that sound? If you haven't done already, do hit that like button. Make sure you tell me that you're here today, and of course any comments on the replay, please do leave a comment and let us know how we're doing. Alrighty, so with that said, let's do that real quick. So that's what I need you to do right now, and then we'll get into the number 1 game dominating both the stores, obviously by Homa, of which, of course, if you want to see your game at number 1, potentially, you need to come and publish with us, and the links are below in the description. All right, so we start the game off straight into the action. Obviously, we talk a lot about best practices here, and it's really nice to see that the first of all we get an upgrade on our timer here, and the other buttons are grayed out. So it makes it really clear to the user that you're going to press that to upgrade it. That is one. Actually, it's kind of funny because normally I'm not a big fan of these buttons straight away, but I think in this instance it works really well. Mainly because it's given us the ability to actually upgrade it before we start. Now, if we couldn't upgrade anything, we shouldn't have these buttons on here, but because we can, I think it's really quite nice. It's great to see these animated. And I love the fact that we can got the little pointer there just to say just press it, and it kind of seems a little bit belts and braces to a certain degree, but I think it's really important that we remember these things. And how much of a difference is it? These buttons here are animated and just a way more interactive and way more fun, and way less flat than normal. A little detail, but of course I think it's really nice, and I think the clock on there is pretty good, and you can see next to it the animations on those buttons actually indicate what the upgrades do. And often we see the upgrade buttons, it says power, but or whatever, and we can't really understand exactly what the benefit of these things are. So I think it's a small touch but a nice bit of polish. So let's just go. Now, before we start, obviously there's some comparisons here to Hole.io. So let's address that straight away. Of course, it's very similar to the Hole.io mechanic. Hole.io clearly set in a city and a multiplayer game. But I think this is a really good version of why we shouldn't be too frightened about these sort of things, and how you just thinking about it differently. It's perfectly great to take a game that's been so wildly popular over the last few years and try and do a different version of it. So I think Augustine and the team at Redline have done an amazing job here. But let's just have a play. I'm going to press the upgrade, which gives us 2 extra seconds. You can see we've got 20 seconds on the clock there. Now gone up to 22. Little pulse to show the upgrade was activated, which I think is nice. This is cool. I haven't seen this game in ages. So now we're going through each one. So really nice. So getting us to upgrade our thing really early on. I love it. Free stuff. So now we get an upgrade of the whole size. Very cool. And the power. Nice. I mean, that's really cool. Okay. I think really for me, I would have put a start button here now. Like let's go button. Just on the initial onboarding, after those buttons, maybe removing and put start. But this is okay, so let's just go. So obviously we are trying to get as many of these items down the hole as possible. So really simple, pure hyper-casual gameplay. Very cool indeed. We're on a timer, which is normally kind of anxiety type, taps into the anxiety of it all. But let's see if we can do it. All right. I haven't seen this dude before. Okay. Very nice. So what do we think of first level? Nice and short and snappy. I don't know how good we were, but obviously we won. So that's a really positive thing. So makes me feel clever and smart, even though I wasn't really looking at the timer. But I think that was a really nice start. Let me know in the comments here. And this is not to blow smoke up Homa so much. I'm genuinely interested in what you guys are thinking about the start of this thing. How can we make it better? Have you got any other ideas? Open to all of it. Excuse me, right. Looks satisfying play. Yeah, it was pretty satisfying. So now we got to hold to fire. Let me know in that chat what you thought of that first intro into the game. Honestly, I thought the onboarding was really good there. Like I said, I'd change it slightly just after we've upgraded all those buttons, take them away and put let's play or something like that. I think that would have been slightly nicer, but 6 of 1. So now we can hold to fire. Oh, there's a lot of bullets. Ooh. Okay. So I've got to say the graphics on the UI are really nice. We got 30% up completion on a new skin. We've got our typical gamification of the video there, but we'll go no thanks. I'm just gonna turn that off. Okay, so level 2, I played this recently. It could use more end game types. Okay, nice. Okay, like I said, I haven't played this in quite a while, but let's upgrade, I guess, the size. Oh, how much have I got? I've got loads of money. All right, so this is good. I've got loads to spend, so Let's give us a longer play time. So that's pretty good. We've got a shop open up here. Let's have a look at the shop. Got 2 diamonds. Weapon shop. Okay. And the VIP. Oh, that's probably... Okay, that would be... need a subscription. Alright. I'm not sure how I feel about not having a start button. That's kind of weird, but... Okay. The controls are really great. Okay, so it's really hard to play and talk at the same time, clearly. I am nowhere near... I'm nowhere near this. Okay. So I need more blue things, right? Alright, so we've got a revive for a video. Fair shout. I wasn't even close enough to even consider that. Here's our dude again. And now we've got what we've eaten in that levels to chuck at this guy. Okay. Oh, we didn't do it. That's nice. Oh, that was nice. I like that. So yeah, I got honestly, I've never seen this before. I think that kick on the camera angle to make it knock the camera off. I think that's really smart. Yeah, this has been in scale for about 2 months. The iterations are very impressive from when I saw this last. Controls are better, says Elbow. Nice if the player was more responsive. Okay, well look, let's just keep going. I'm gonna put some time on that. Let's see if we can do better this time. Can't get those just yet. The difficulty with the timer games, I think it's really nice that the timer is underneath our player here. I think that's massive. I think that helps a whole ton to keep your eye knowing where you are in the game. Still got nowhere near it though. I'd almost want to see if we could put the timer above because my finger seems to be below the hole here. But let's just try. That hasn't reset, so I've got no chance here. I think that's genius, that. Kind of like to see the emboss in some sort of environment. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Ooh, and that went over to the shop. That's very good. Okay. One more session enables to zoom out as the hole grows. Now, I'd be surprised if that doesn't... I would expect it to do that as well. Let's put some more time, obviously. And let's do a power. So I guess the power is something to do with the N level. And we can see that green. Yeah, it does zoom out a little bit. I keep losing the controls here. Oops. Okay. So clearly a lot better than before. Nice. So yeah, now it's zooming out properly. Alright, still rubbish though. There's a zoom out button, but it's fixed in and always resets. Okay, you're saying it's auto. I don't understand what you mean there. Can you rephrase that for me? Oh, I'm nowhere close to this guy, so those blue ones are good. So we're getting there. Oh, I really like that camera. I think that's really clever. Right. Wow. Okay. Right. Let's have a slurp then. Right, excuse me. Right, so we've got a free magnet here, which is really cool. We've got a ton more stuff. We'll oh my goodness, alright. So yeah, this is super hard to talk and play at the same time, but we must have smashed this. That magnet is really nice. A really nice effect on that. So interesting they chose a pink checkered background on this level as well. I wonder how many times they tried different colours there. There's a There's a big zoom out, but it resets on every reload. I see what you're saying. But yeah, so what's happening is that as soon as we get bigger, the camera pans backward. I actually think that works real well, but fair dues. Now, are we going to be able to do this guy with all these blues? Yeah. All right. Okay. We obviously completed that other skin, so we'll check that skin out in a sec. Got loads of money there. Okay, nice. Good pace on that. I think. What do you reckon? Level 3, we're on there for a rating. About 5 or so minutes playtime. I think that's right. Big mistake we see a lot is that you have one go, you show an ad, and it says, "Oh, how are you liking the game?" So don't do that. Give the player some time. Trigger it depending on how long your levels and your sessions are. Trigger it on like level 3, 5, something like that. Give the player enough time, because the only thing they'll do is close it and not do it. All right, so we've got an extra 5 levels, extra 5 seconds rewarded video. We've got a magnet video, which is very cool, and we have, I'm guessing, the speed or the power, or a 1 times bonus for the coins. I'm not actually sure what this left hand side one is, so that's kind of interesting. We have some sort of skin for a rewarded video. We have our shop, and we've got that skin basket there, or skin bag, which is really cool. Are you talking about this thing up there? Oh my goodness, dude, I didn't even know that happened. What's this then? Levels. Alright, so I promise you this is all new to me. Oh, look at that. I prefer that. That's what you were saying, Elbow. There's a big zoom out button on top right, but it resets every level on. Apologies. Yeah, I'm a potato. It's very hard for me to sometimes get what you're saying, but I didn't notice that icon. Let's try it next time. Let's go into our skin shop. So let's go for this shape here. Nice one, dude. Sorry about that. Feel free to keep reminding me as well. Let's buy this thing. How cool is that? New pro and hacker. Very nice. All right. So now we've got that crazy hole. I like that. That's fun. So let's, yeah, well done, Elbow. I hadn't noticed that at all. You playing using this is much better. I agree. I really like the fact that we can zoom out and see exactly where we've got to go on the level. I think that makes it for better decisions from the player. But you're saying that resets every level. Yeah, I wonder if that should stick if you prefer to play that way. We'll see. Because I forget to press it most times, but we've got a ton of money, so I guess we should do this, because this is going to make things easier. And let's give ourselves some time, and let's give the last one for some power. Alright. So the models are really great in here. The controls still work good. I think it's funny having mouths here. Okay. So the models are good. Really bright colours. I am nowhere near again though. Okay. So overall, pretty polished, I'd say, so far. What do you guys think? Let's do it. Oh, nice. So really nice particles on those hand grenades. That is good to see. I wish we could zoom up into this level by growing up. You could zoom up into this level by growing up. I don't know what you mean. Sorry. Alright. Let's play it on the normal thing. I think I'm going to give myself some more time. I was just going to do more. Alright. So for some reason, when I'm more zoomed in, I kind of feel more focused on what I'm doing. We're definitely gonna. I'm not big enough for those yet. All right. But this is really quite satisfying. Physics are nice. Okay. Polished playing mechanic looks smooth. Yeah, it does. And like I said, regardless of it's a game from us and Redline, I think this is really smart. Just trying to think on this. I really like the fact that we're um I'm never going to get bored of that thing either. I really like the fact that we're throwing the stuff and it's really interactive. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we could do with that. Judy said putting him in an environment, which I kind of like the idea of. I mean, it does fit with. Oops, it does fit with the landscape we're on right now. This sort of graph paper type affair. This square holes we're in. Square holes, squares, sort of floor. Um, Come on, we're gonna do it. I don't think so. Nearly. Gonna need a few more upgrades, I think. Oh, maybe. Skills. All right. So yeah, Jill's was saying maybe put something in the background. I kind of like the idea of that. Kind of some primitive sort of skyscrapers. I think would be good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it would fit too much. But the particle effects on these grenades are fantastic. Perfectly right and seems fit in for the game. Loads of money. Bonus level? Oh, nice. Okay. So, very cool indeed. So, bonus level coming in. What level's that? Level 4. All right. So, one thing that we talk about all the time is, space your game out. Cut your game into typically 5s, but we've done it on 4, which I think is really smart. And actually, it feels kind of about the right time to mix it up a bit. So now, just turn all your models to gold, and now basically you've got a bonus level, which I think stops the humdrum or the repetitiveness of the game. It's an easy thing to do. We've only got 20 seconds on this, so I'm just going to go through it and get as many as I can, obviously. Oh, look at all these. Oh, I'm not big enough. All right. So very cool indeed. And what's great about when we're looking at stuff like this, you really look forward to these sort of levels. Oh, look at that thing. All right. Oh, that's super fun, that one. Nice. It's also been really generous with the monies, right? We've got 5k here. Oh, upgrades are cheap, so let's put a load more time on there. Should have done a bigger hill. Can I do this? Okay. Yeah, I don't know about those views now. It's funny. My instinct was, yeah, I'd like to be zoomed out a bit more, but I actually think I actually prefer it. God, I've done horrible here. I think I'd actually prefer it zoomed in a bit. I don't know. I think it's great we've got the choice. Cool. All right. So let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. Have you played this? Do you want to play it? Do you think it? What's your thoughts on it? Kind of want that to have something different, and I don't know why. I kind of want it to make it tie it into the game slightly more. I think it's a really good solution to have an end of level on this and have the things that we're collecting have impact on that end of level sort of game. But I'd also kind of want to tie it in with something as well. Let's definitely do this. All right. So we are here as a conversation, so do come and talk to me. And of course, if you haven't joined the Discord, be sure to head over there because we'll be talking about all of this stuff and any feedback you want for your games as well. Start a conversation in there. If you want to share something you're working on or something you've seen, that's the place to do it. This is super satisfying though. What do you mean 9? You're voting already. Okay. So yeah, let's go for a few more rounds of this. We just played this one today. Different bosses, pack of zombies, and maybe aiming for end of level. Yeah. Now, I think that's a really good shout there, BJ 2020. What is up? Good to see you. I think that's a good shout. I think once we defeated this, once we've killed the red one, I think it would be kind of nice to progress that. One sec. Progress the red one to a different color or something. That would definitely feel. I kind of think we're slightly missing a trick on that, just slightly, to try and make it as though we're progressing through a sort of a kind of a side game or a consequence of doing this. I think that's where I would be cool. I'd definitely be looking to see how we can stretch out the concept of this thing, because I think the mechanics are good. It's very unusual. I like the fact that all of the stuff comes out of our hole that we've collected on the level. I really think the ability to progress through that section to give the satisfying main core mechanic a little bit more meaning. But Redline have built this so well, I'd say. The quality of the build is sensational. And honestly, it's pretty damn addictive. And I'm not once using that zoom button, Elbow. For me, I kind of like this view for some reason. Let's get some of these things. They're awesome. And it's nice that the objects are getting bigger and bigger. The figures are great on these. Still didn't do it though. Close. You need a team or an artist. Well, that's the other benefit of doing the Discord there, right? Because if you need a team or you want to team up with someone, put it out there. Maybe you can develop a relationship with a cool artist and maybe team up, join forces. You know, one powerful thing about the networking in these communities is to meet fellow like-minded, skillful people like yourself who have talents in different disciplines. Throw it out there. Needs more variety of bosses. I think we're all agreed on that. I definitely agree. But you're on an iPad and I played on iPhone. Okay, fair shout. Yeah, it is a different experience on iPad. For sure. Always is. We need to. I saw the splash screen there wasn't optimized for iPad. So I shall be reporting that back. But overall, I think this has got a lot going for it. I don't want to stop, if I'm honest with you. I think it's really good. But yeah, I think, and I appreciate everyone who said that in the chat, by the way. I think that's the weakest part for me, and not saying that that's not it's not a slur or a flame or anything. I think this is the weakest part. No, I think that's not the right quite way to say it. I think the biggest part I'd want to try and address here. I think the easiest way is to change the baddie out, even by colour. And I think that would be... Do you know what I would do? The real simple fix for me. And let me know in the chat after I say it. You ready for it? Change the colour of this model and give it a name. What do you think about that? Low hanging fruit, easy change. So even though the model doesn't change, we can almost forgive it because now we're trying to kill Brian and not Jimmy before, right? So these little things that you can easily implement, and just by giving a name, you set it up in a different, you set the expectations up slightly differently. So now your next mission is to kill Bob, right? Rather than the same one each time, because I think you could definitely go a little bit more OP on the explosions as well. I noticed the bomb explosion is the same as the hand grenade. So I think you could definitely look at doing some changes there. But I would name the bosses at least, and I think that way it'd be a really cheap way of actually improving that section immediately. And even if you go one further, that you could have almost like you could have kind of like not like a leaderboard, or sort of like, you know, the goal is to destroy the squads. Right, so we got to destroy team Bob, and then we got 4 people to kill from Team Bob. Don't like an idea with a name. All right, fair shout. Probably a size would be better. Agreed. Different size and number of them. Yeah, different size and number of them. Different variety of bosses, yes. Colour, yes. Or even a different size, number of bosses, and set environment. Even a city backdrop, yeah. All right. Well, no, not my name idea. I think that's pretty good. I think the idea is really to differentiate from the bosses of each one. And I think the low-hanging fruit is put a name and change the colour. And I think in terms of development, you guys will know better than me. How long would that take to do? So it's like more speed of execution and proof of concept. But yeah, I definitely think new bosses soon. All right. Good to see you here. Yeah, I think the bosses is the easy one. Without the shooting part, it's Horde Master Clone. How is that become a hit? Horde Master Clone. Well, I think the execution of it, and the marketability of it, and the quality. There's so much we can do here. We can say that about a lot of games as well. But yeah, more bosses. I think that would be the biggest one. But yeah, very cool indeed. It's super addictive to play. The controls really make it feel nice, that's for sure. I don't know what I was waiting for then. But yeah. Alright. So there we go. So let us know in the chat. Just that one today. Slightly shorter time. But let's go. What do you think? Yeah, come and join us on the Discord if you're not already. Definitely. But this is your chance to put a little number in the chat there. So, there we go. Jill started off. Out of 10, what do we think? Just a feel of the room. So, it is an 8 for Jilly. BJ's in for an 8 as well. Good man. It's an 8 for Video. It's a 9 for Elbow. But yeah, absolutely crushing the stores, this one. And I think it's props to the devs of taking the concept, like was just mentioned in the chat, taking the concept but changing it up, adding something new, smashing the execution, and of course our marketing team. I've got guns here. Our marketing team have done a fine job of doing the creators on the CPI videos and stuff like that. I really want one of these guns. Very cool. Alright, it's an 8 for Colette. Very nice indeed. But yeah, there we go. Let's do one of these. I want to see what these guns do. Okay. So yeah, different particle effect on the bombs there. Just make it a little bit more OP, I would say. Easy peasy play, addictive, especially for short gameplay. So there you go. That's going to go and wrap it up for me today. Nice short one. Just wanted to point that out, that we're crushing the stores right now. And of course, I can't wait to see how this one goes. We'll check for the updates. But it's a really good exercise of a game that's like hitting all the numbers right now. It's absolutely crushing #1 US on both the stores, which is, you know, pretty much unheard of for the most part, to perform so well on the different platforms, both iOS and Android. It's really interesting to see what they've done right, and of course try and identify as an exercise what we'd improve if this was our game. And that's no right or wrongs, and we always test everything and look at the numbers and make the data lead our decisions, because that's how we know we're on the right path. But as a creative exercise, I think it's great. And of course, I think we all agree that the bosses there could do with some additional work, but that definitely shouldn't, it doesn't make it any less enjoyable. And of course, we're always super critical and harsh here. But the idea is, and the spirit that it's intended is to make it a better product and try and see what spin we would put on it and come up with some ideas and all the rest of it. So there you go. That is the Homa story for this week. Do that thing because I know you want to. That helps me out a ton. Come and join us next week where we will be exactly where we should have been this week with our CPI show with Oleg, publishing manager here. So apologies that that couldn't quite happen today. That is live, but I didn't want to bail on you this week, so we pushed it back a bit, and here we are looking at our top game right now. And next week we'll return back to the CPI show as planned, where we'll go through some of the videos of the most successful ones that are out and about at the moment. So Abji, get yourself over on that Discord. Scan the screen there. The links are in the description as well. Simply go and join. Go and hook up over there. Great place where we're trying to bring everyone together and geek out about all this sort of stuff. So I appreciate everyone joining with me today. Let us know next week. Get yourself in the chat because you'll be able to talk to a publishing manager, see what's working well on the CPI, and if you ever want to pick the brain of a publishing manager here at Homa, tap into their expertise. Oleg's a super cool guy with really a ton of experience in the hyper-casual scene and hybrid casual, it has to be said. Pretty much everything, let's be fair. Go over and make sure you come and join us next week, and we'll be doing that. In the meantime, do join me in that Discord. Come and say hello. Come and say hello. Are you struggling with anything? I will be placing a link to the my Calendarly on there just after this stream, where you can book 30-minute session. But without further ado, that's going to wrap it up. See you later, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend. See you later.